Happy Monday for those of you listening in real time. I know there's a few of you out there that like to listen every day. I don't listen every day to most podcasts. I've got lots and lots on my list, but I couldn't possibly listen to every podcast every day. But thank you to those who do.
Yeah, and be grateful that you are listening to this in real time, because we're not recording this in real time.
We aren't recording this in real time. No, it's not a Monday. It's a Thursday night at 6:37 p.m. and we are... Oh, we're only a couple of hours into recording. Yeah, I'm actually about 4 hours into recording because I've done other episodes today as well. So I'm sitting down with Phil, and this is the Bible Wait. What?
It is.
It is indeed.
It is.
And this is a new week, Phil, even though we've been recording already. We recorded last week's episodes already. We have this and another one to go.
Yes.
And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you're going to be listening to us. If you're watching on YouTube, Phil's still in his blue work uniform, his blue nurse's uniform that he was in 7 weeks ago or something when we recorded.
I have washed it since
then. I've washed it since then. So Romans 1, 2, and 3 is coming up at the end of this week. There's some gnarly stuff. Hebrews and Romans, some of the densest passages in the New Testament. So we've already recorded those.
Yeah, there's so much in it that, we could go for another 5 hours.
We could. We're going to wrap up Hebrews in the next 35 minutes of our time. Let's see how we go, something like that. So today we're doing 12. Tomorrow will be 13.
Yes.
So there's a lot in 12 actually. So I looked and realised that you have pages and notes for 12 that you could rival Jeannie with those notes actually. I'm just kidding. Jeannie probably has about 3 times as much as that. But you got a couple of pages of notes there on Hebrews 12 that you prepared a couple of months ago. So let's just give some context. If you haven't been listening previously, you're picking this up for the first time, you might like to go back and listen to last week's episodes. Yeah. It's particularly Hebrews 11, the famous honor roll of faith, because it kind of flows directly into this. It starts with therefore. Therefore is a good reason.
It is.
If it starts with therefore, you ask,
what is it there
what's
for?
that there for? And it directly links to the end of chapter 11, which talks about this great cloud of witnesses, that all these people that have gone before in faith. And it's saying, you know what? All those people who've gone before, they're a cloud of witnesses that have lived the life of faith. Remember, guys, it's hard for you. You're thinking about pulling back on your faith. That's why the book of Hebrews is written. Don't pull back. Stay the course. Jesus is better than the devil. Jesus is better than God. Jesus is better than Jesus is God. Jesus is better. It is late in the day. Jesus is better than the angels.
Yes.
Jesus is better than Moses. The word better appears like 13 times in Hebrews, actually. Wow. Jesus is better than Moses, the angels, the high priest,
the old temple,
all of that. He's better than all of that.
Yeah.
So stay the course. And remember, there's a whole bunch of people who've gone before you who've also felt the test of giving up, and they haven't given up. Let them cheer you on. Therefore, we've got this great cloud of witnesses. Let us strip off every weight that weighs us down, the sin that so easily trips us up. Let us run with endurance the race that God has set before us. Get back in the race and run it, guys, is what he's saying to us.
And I was also reminded at the end of chapter 11, it says that all those people who are gone before us and with their faith, they're also waiting for us to finish our race, so they can receive the fullness of their prize.
Absolutely. Isn't that cool? We're all going to receive it together in some way. Yeah. And if we die before the end, we will become the great cloud of witnesses. And I love this picture because this is an Olympic Games picture or a Colosseum picture. This is all those who've gone before. You and I, we're on the running track. And there's a finish line for us. And it might look, your finish line might be different to mine. It might finish at a different time, even though we're almost the same age. Yeah. We're running our own races, like you said in the last episode. And if we look up to the stands, I know we're not supposed to, but we're supposed to focus on our own road. But there's a great cloud of witnesses going, come on, Rohan, you can do this. Hang in there. It's worth it. I'm telling you, I'm on the other side. I finished my race. It's so worth it. Keep going. That's the picture that we've got here in Hebrews 12:1.
It's like all the saints of old, but it's also I'm just sort of with listening to the Orthodox sort of traditions. It's like, well, okay, you've got all the saints from that aren't in the Bible who came after that.
Absolutely, all of us.
Yeah, they're all there cheering us on.
Absolutely,
and well, whether they're praying for us as well, they probably are praying for us to say, hey, come on, get on,
keep
keep
interceding.
going. Keep going.
Yep, so, I think that's there. I think that's linked into this whole picture that the writer to the Hebrews wants us to get.
Yeah. Keep our eyes on Jesus, whom our faith depends from start to finish.
The perfecter of our faith.
Yeah. That is the ultimate. Jesus is everything hinges on Jesus.
And Jesus did what he's calling us to do. He says Jesus did too. He says because of the joy that was awaiting him, he endured his shame, his cross. He crossed his finish line, even though he had the opportunity. Gethsemane, classic example of a chance for him to bow out of his race, and he didn't.
Yeah.
So it's not just the saints, it's Jesus himself who's finished the race and endured it and disregarded its shame. And he didn't do it for himself, he did it for us.
Yeah.
So now it's so worth it.
Yes. You just sort of sit in that and just sort of go, wow, what words to really say with that one.
He's gone back to the whole Jesus is sitting at the honor of God. Last time he did it through the earlier chapters through the whole concept of his blood. Now he's doing it through just running the race metaphor. Yeah. But that's what got him to the end, and that's what earned him the right to be exalted. Philippians 2, therefore God exalted him because he died. God exalted him to the right hand and gave him the name that is above every name. That's what's being referred to here. Jesus has gone before us. Come on, it's worth it. You got a crowd of witnesses cheering you on. Don't give up.
And the next section talks when life is hard, and it's like, well, okay, are we doing the? It says don't ignore the Lord's discipline and sort of thing.
Yes.
So it's like, well, okay, things do happen. It's like,
is it the devil? Or is it the Lord?
Yep. Things are happening. It's not rosy. It's not perfect. Got their struggles, but
even those struggles are creating something in us, which is this whole from about verse 5 through to about verse 13 or something. It's all about discipline, and it's just saying. It's just verse 11, 5 to 11, talking about the concept of discipline and saying, look, a good father will discipline, a good earthly father will discipline. So if you're going through some hard things right now, don't give up, because God's actually using that discipline to shape character in you that you will take with you into your future, not just in this life, but in the one to come in some crazy way too. Every hardship we face now that God allows us to go through disciplines us and makes us more like him. Yeah. And we'll carry that with us into eternity.
And I like verse 12 after, so it says, so take a new grip with your tired hands and stand firm on your shaky legs. Even though you might be halfway through the race and you're stumbling, like
go again.
Yes.
Yeah, great. Go. Okay, I'm going to grab that thing again. Yeah. I'm going to get back up off my knees. I'm going to keep going. That's what it's almost, it is discipline to do that. But we can do it. We can't do that in our own strength. But what I find is when I get to the point where I go, God, I've got no strength left, but I'm going to make an effort. I'm just going to turn to you and trust you. And it's like that's when the supernatural injection of life from God comes. And I have this picture of getting back up off my knees and getting back in the race and going again, Yeah. And it comes from God.
Like second wind sort of thing.
The second wind, yeah. And it comes from the Lord.
Yeah. And I just read verse 13, it says, after you get up on your shaky legs, mark out a straight path for your feet. Then those who follow you, though they are weak and lame, will not stumble and fall, but will become strong.
I don't think I've ever thought of it that way before. I know where you're going. Tell me what you're thinking.
That's a slap in your face saying you're not doing this alone.
You're not doing this alone, and you're not doing it for yourself.
No, you're doing it for people who are coming behind you, who are following you, who are looking up to you. So don't stumble, don't fall, and don't go backwards, because
you owe it to others as well.
Yeah.
Wow. I guess that's what Jesus did. So when it says Jesus endured the cross that he might win us, we endure our race so that we might win others. Ultimately, we know Jesus is the one who wins them, but we get to partner with him in that process.
Yeah, we can lead others.
We can lead our children. We can lead our church community. We can lead our friends. We can lead others to Jesus if we don't give up.
Yeah.
Good thought, Phil. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
No,
never.
I'm not conscious of seeing that.
Don't know how. It's right there in black and white, but I've just never seen it. Yeah.
It's sort of a sober thought. So it tells us to live at peace with everyone else. So it's like, well, okay, because you've got other people around you and looking and following you in sort of that sense, they're looking up to you. It's like, well, okay, we've got to do things like live at peace with everyone, seek a clean life, holy life. For those who are not holy will see the Lord. So we're a witness. That's really what I can say what we are. We're a witness
Others are looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, those in the life are looking at us. Others who've gone before us are looking down on us. Yes, that's right. We owe it to others and to the grace of God to stay in the race. And it's interesting here because it'd be very easy up until this point to see it, a lot of what we've been discussing over the last few chapters, as incredibly personal. It's me and Jesus. Jesus has taken me into heaven and all that sort of stuff. But this makes it really clear that we don't live as islands.
No.
Our faith is contingent upon us joining together in community and existing in community. And so he's kind of bringing that into the story here a bit now and saying, you need to live at peace with each other. Don't become selfish and self-focused like Esau did, and give up everything you have, but persevere through it. And then in verse 18, he takes this tack where I love this. I love this. Always love these verses. You have not come to a physical mountain, to a place of flaming fire, darkness, gloom, and whirlwind, as the Israelites did at Mount Sinai. It's a picture of what you referred to a few chapters ago about Moses on Mount Sinai, and they were afraid and they couldn't come. And he likens what Jesus has done and what we do when we come together as a body of Christ. We haven't come to be all together at the foot of a mountain where we're afraid. We can come boldly to this place. And we've come to the heavenly Jerusalem. They were scared, but verse 22 says, no, you've come to Mount Zion, the heavenly Jerusalem, and to countless thousands of angels in joyful gathering. And you've come to this assembly of God's firstborn children, this cloud of witnesses. Their names are written in heaven. And you've come to God himself, who's the judge over all things. You've come to the spirits of the righteous ones in heaven who have now been made perfect. You've come to Jesus, the one who mediates a new covenant. This is why this is why you need to hang out together. This is why you need to experience me. This blood of Jesus is holy and speaks a better word than angels. So there's another warning. So don't refuse.
Yes.
To listen to the one who's speaking to you. Don't be like Israel who tried to run away. Come close.
Yeah.
You've been given open access to heavenly Jerusalem.
When we come to heaven, we're sort of, I was going to say, spirits of the redeemed spirits of the redeemed are made perfect. Jesus is the mediator of the new covenant. It's not, the old is gone.
The old's gone. This is better.
Yeah. We've been sprinkled with his blood
Amen.
To make clean, to fresh. It's the whole new, not out of fear or like that negative fear.
Yep.
Out of a reverence. Through this life we'll have, everything will be upset or can be turned upside down.
But we have something better to live for.
We have.
Yep.
And verse 27 says this means that things on earth will be shaken so that only the eternal things will be left.
Yes.
It's like
life is going to shake you around.
Yeah.
But it's discipline and it's making sure that what's left is valuable. Verse 28, the last one says, since we are receiving a kingdom that is unshakable, let us be thankful and please God by worshiping him with holy fear and awe, for God is a devouring fire. I think that's it. So we have access now to this ultimate kingdom. We're living in the now and the not yet. It's not like we have to wait for it totally. We experience it now and we will experience it fully one day when everything that's shakeable is gone and all that's left is the unshakable. So the key there is let us be thankful and please God by worshiping him. Stay in connection with him. Stay in connection with his people. That's what will keep you going and keep your heart focused on the things that really matter.
Yeah, and I was thinking with that is like, well, all the trials and the stuff that we go through, it's like the other thing, it's refiner's gold, where they purify gold by taking off all the rubbish and all the.
I think Peter uses
stuff.
that analogy as well, and talks about being refined in the fire and all that in his letters. Yes, it's what gets rid of the dross.
Yeah,
yep.
Yeah. And coming back to the debate, or like whether is it something that's superficial or is it something that's really worth it?
Yep, amen. What really counts is eternal. Stay for that stuff. Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to say? No. Okay. One to go tonight.
Yes.
Which is only early in the week, but we'll see you tomorrow for Hebrews chapter 13.
Sounds good.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Bible. Wait, what? Be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast so you don't miss a single episode. And you can also find us on all the socials. Just search The Bible. Wait, what? And to find out more about our church, just search C3 Camden, C3 Picton, or C3 Thirroul on the web or on the socials. Thanks for being with us today, and we look forward to talking to you on the next episode of The Bible. Wait, what?